Hello everybody, my name's Manika, and today I'm doing something ill-advised. Long story short, if you're happy with a version of a character, you probably don't need to buy another version of the same character from a different company. But I am a figure reviewer at heart, so I make ill-advised decisions. So today, we are taking another look at My Hero Academia, by taking a look at the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Izuku Midoriya. Now, I'm sure you'll recall a couple of videos ago, we took a look at the SH Figuarts Izuku Midoriya. And yeah, this grew to be a bit of a problem, and I also wanted to try another Amazing Yamaguchi figure. That was kind of spurred on by me being stupid about Revoltech figures, and like having to bounce between which ones are and which ones aren't, and also wanting new figures and seeing what was available. That's finally led me here to get another Izuku Midoriya. So for those of you who don't know, Amazing Yamaguchi is a specific line in Revoltech, primarily defined by being sculpted by action figure designer / sculptor Katsuhisa Yamaguchi. He has a bit of a reputation, primarily through Revoltech, of making a lot of different figures, and he was given the Amazing Yamaguchi line, even though he had his own Yamaguchi lines beforehand, seemingly, but he was given Amazing Yamaguchi in 2016, I want to say, and he started with Marvel and DC characters, mainly. He started with, like, Deadpool and Spider-Man. You've seen those, I'm sure, online. I got my first one, and I guess before this, my only one, with their Iron Man offering, who I have over here for unrelated reasons. But he eventually was able to spread out into more brands. Initially, just Hiroaka, I imagine because they fit similar brands, even though it was Japanese. It's comic book superheroes. And now they're just doing whatever, I guess. From what I can tell, he now has more sculptors working alongside him to work on more varied projects. So now there's like video games like Ninja Gaiden and Street Fighter. There are other anime and manga. They're right now the big thing that a lot of people are going crazy over is the Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. But yeah, today we are taking a bit of a look back, I guess. Now, you may not see it, but this figure is like 5 years old. It's from like 2019, 2020-ish. However, this is a reissue. This reissue was done around winter 2024, around the same time as the release of Revoltech's Ochako Raraka. I guess to coincide with each other, but also I think in part to compete with Figuarts' offering. They were announcing they were doing their own Izuku Midoriya, and there's, I think, released in Japan around the same time, around like that winter age era, whatever. So now both of these are on the market at the same time, which is very fucking funny and very interesting. And I want to see which one, what each one does differently, I guess. I don't necessarily want to say which one is better, because in part they're wearing different costumes. I've been thinking a lot about this, for reasons that may be obvious already, may become obvious later, but for now, yeah. Anyways, as mentioned, this is a reissue, but the biggest change as a reissue is that it's got a new box. Early Amazing Yamaguchi figures, which included the original release of the Revoltech Izuku Midoriya, had this very maximalist comic booky aesthetic in terms of its packaging. However, now it's a lot more minimalist. We have the bar here that says Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi. You know that they're Amazing Yamaguchi by saying that under the Revoltech logo. Those that don't say that are by different people entirely. Izuku Midoriya, name of the figure, 60th anniversary of Kyoto, we know this. And on this side, we get a nice image of the figure on a green background. It looks very nice, very pretty. I like how it looks. It's a very clean render. At the top, similarly to Ochako and Mirko, who we have looked at previously, we have the My Hero Academia logo, continuing on from the previous bit of art on this green background. And continuing on this side, we have the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi logo right here, slightly embossed, which feels nice, and Izuku Midoriya right here. On this side, we have a single render of Izuku, which is very similar to the front render. I think it might be different, or it's this. I say renders. These are photos. these are photos. I'm so used to saying renders because I have to deal with Hasbro bullshit sometimes. But a photo of Izuku in a very similar pose, though slightly different because they tilted the camera angle slightly differently. Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi, Izuku Midoriya. On this side, we get a pair of images that show 2 of his expressions, as well as a lot more of his accessories. I imagine that says Izuku Midoriya, Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi, Kyoto. At the bottom, we have our usual legalese and QR codes, which are scannable. They just take you to websites. And on the back, once again, very similar to the previous 2 Revoltech figures that we have just gotten through. Revoltech, Izuku Midoriya, Toho, Kyoto logo. He's 150 millimeters tall. These are all the accessories he comes with. Usual information about the figure. As well as just a bunch of images of him with his accessories, mainly showing him in full cowling. That's what all those electric effects are for. And I guess that's one of the benefits of this figure versus this one. For this one to get him to look full cowling, you need to buy an accessory set that came out very recently to the time of recording this, though it will have been out for a while by the time you're watching this. But for this, it's all in one. This is an all-in-one package. You get basically everything you need for Izuku Midoriya, at least at this point in the series. Anyways, let's get him out of the packaging. Yeah, so... Yeah, blue insides again, I imagine that's common. And sliding them out of the package, this is a lot denser of a package than the previous 2 we've seen. The previous 2 have been very light on accessories, but this one has a lot more. I guess because it's an earlier Amazing Yamaguchi. But starting from the back, well, first off, let's see everything as it comes in the package. As you can see, a fairly decent swath of stuff. I don't know if this is the same blister that came with the old package, just repackaged into this new box, or if it's a new blister entirely. You'll have to look at other unboxings of the older version of this figure for that. And the stands are falling. First off, we have an instruction manual. Always appreciated. It shows you how to use certain hands, what certain hands are for, how to swap out eyes and hands and whatnot, as well as all the holes for all of your different accessories, as well as a little something special. Anyways, let's put that to the side. First off, allow me to show you what's on the back of this package. There's some shoddy tape that obviously didn't hold up as soon as I got it out of the package. Hey, look! It's a stand. Yeah, this is the Amazing Yamaguchi stand, or the Kyoto Revoltech stand. We know this. That's feeling a little... Hopefully, if you saw last time with the Mirko one, hopefully we don't spend as much time on the stand as we did there. This one comes in a bit of a baggie, which is interesting. A lot more like Figuarts, when they include stands, or like other companies when they include stands, like Figma, I guess is more apt. Let's look at the stand. Oh my goodness, it has friction. I joke, but the last one did not, very evidently. Anyways, so yeah, it also comes with the claw. You know how a stand works, you plonk it in, the smaller hole is used for the back of the figure. Claw. It also comes with the claw if you want to use the claw, though it's not a great claw. Anyway, let's put this baggie to the side, because it comes with a second fucking stand. This is something that I really appreciate about this specific figure. None of the other Revoltech figures do this, but there's a reason for it on this figure. This one includes 2 stands. They are exactly the same from what I can tell. They may have different QC. There we go. Anyways, come on. Demonouchi. Shoop-a-doop. Come on. There we go. Usual stand arm. As you can see, it's a little bit more ribbed on this one. I imagine that's just a production difference. But... well, I mean, they're both ribbed, but like compared to some of the other Revoltech stands we've seen recently, a little bit more ribbed. And base. So yeah, we got two stands. That's because of something I'm sure you've already seen in the back of the package, as well as in other reviews of this figure, because again, this figure is like 5 years old. he comes with onomatopoeia. This is awesome. This is just such a cool, weird little inclusion that he didn't have to do, but it's really cool that they did, all things considered. It adds a lot of character to this as a figure, and ultimately influenced other figures. Like, I do not think onomatopoeia would have been included in the Figuarts Plus Ultra set, the accessory set that comes with the full cowling bits for the Figuarts Izuku, if this did not include onomatopoeia, because the onomatopoeia aren't really an anime thing. I think that's another difference. These don't appear to have the, they have like a slip cover, or like a sticky cover, originally. They do not have that. So, on this one, it's just there to be flung out in the opening. So, we get 3 different text effects to make it look more comic-y. A smash going this way. A smash going this way. This one's yellow, that one's orange. And a muttering effect. This is awesome. I love this so much. It's very specifically Izuku. Like, you could use these two on, like, most figures. Like, yes, they are very specifically Izuku Midoriya / All Might, but you could use those on anyone. This is specifically Izuku. It's got the mutter around it, but it's also just a text bubble that you can just kind of stick around anywhere. It's so cool. I love it. And the intention is that you're meant to use one of these for the text bubbles. Oh no, this one's floppy. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And if you want, given the number of holes, you can just put 2 stand arms into the same stand. Kind of, but we're not going to, because we made the joke. But you can put 2 stand arms into the same stand and make it work. I'll try to tighten this later. This is from the Mirko. It came very loose for some reason. Watch that video for me struggling with trying to tighten a stand and it being a bit in vain for like far too long. Anyways, let's get into the actual figure, but mainly looking at just the sheer dearth of accessories. We're going to be here a while. Damn. There we go. Comes in a plastic blister, as we all expect. First off, let's look at something that's very unique about this figure. So, it comes with a tool in skin tone. This is like a multi-tool that Kyoto has used a lot in their figures. You've seen this in so many figures. But in this instance, it's specifically used because this figure comes with a palette of eyes. Anyways, yeah, he comes with swappable eyes. This allows him to do what we've seen on the Ochiko and the Mirko, the way that those figures have been able to essentially have, like, expressions looking in all different ways, but it does it simply with eye swappages, so that you only really need to have 3 face sculpts total, but be able to have just a lot of different expressions. So, this side is all for the angrier expressions, which I think there's only one of. So there is angry looking to this side, but upward, angry looking to this side but downward, angry looking to this side and upward, and angry looking to this side and downward. And that also includes an angry looking forward that's in the figure already. And then for the more round, happier expressions, there is a total of 4 eye expressions, while there are 5 angries. There is the looking forward and looking to this side, which are in the figures already. And then there is a looking to this side, which is in this figure. You can kind of swap them around to make it flip downward, but I don't think that works quite well enough to make it viable. Yeah, you can see their lettering back here. We have the angry ones are B1, B2, B3, B4, and I imagine B5. And then the happier ones are A3, A4, and I imagine the ones in here are A1 and A2. And then we have this strained eye effect for mainly pairing with the muttering bubble to make it look like he's like muttering or something and like writing in his notebook. And in this, he also comes with a pen. I'm not going to take it out. It looks very hard to... I mean, you just put it into a pen-holding hand that he comes with. And, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this figure's hands as well. They do not come on a sprue, unfortunately, but speaking of hands, he comes with... He comes with this pair, which are sculpted differently, obviously. There's a little bit of paint slop it feels on them, but it looks fine. This one is held like this. This one is more pinched. This one's holding the pen. This one's for holding his notebook, which we will get to later. But they both look fairly nice. Let's put those to the side. Next set of hands. He comes with a very iconic Izuku thing. Finger flicks, so he can use like the air pressure. This is a very iconic Izuku attack and should have been included on a certain other figure at the base package, but it's nice that this one includes it in the base package, because this is a very iconic Izuku Midoriya move. But yeah, it's great that it's here. Anyways, final set of hands, oddly enough. He comes with grapplers. I kind of wish he came with a more relaxed hand, but grapplers work fine for that if we need to, and they again look fairly nice. Nice glove sculpting. It feels a little bit awkward, but that might just be from the reissuing process. Again, keep in mind, this is a reissue. This is the reissue, which I've heard has some better QC. So we shall see. Next up, a weird little thing that we probably should have covered earlier. This is the stand arm thing for the, I'm trying to use the looser one. Here. It's primarily meant to be used to hold up the onomatopoeia, so you just put it into your stand arm, and plug one of these in, and it holds it up. I'm not able to get this in, but you can see how it works. I'm going to undo that real quick, put it to the side. I'll be sure to use that for the photo to help sell the image. Next up for accessories is something a little bit more unique. Here we have one of his notebooks, one of his hero analyses for the future notebooks. This is great. I love this. This is just a small thing that definitely didn't need to be included, but it was included and helps to really make this feel like it's worth, in America, $95, in Japan, like $70, but that's not including shipping, or $75, I should say, but that's not including shipping, whatever. This one's a much more fair deal in America than the last few that we've seen. Anyways, it says here, analysis for the future. I love that they got the in-universe brand right, the Campos. And on the inside, it's written. It is specifically analysis over the hero, Kamui Woods. I imagine this is from, I think this is from the first episode / first chapter, because he encounters Mount Lady and Kamui Woods dealing with a villain there. Yeah, it's got that nice jotted down work. It looks fucking perfect. It's great. I love that they included this as a little detail. It's so good. I love it so much. Yeah. It's so cool. Anyways, similar to the previous Izuku we've seen, actually, this one comes with an extra bangs piece. This is, we'll get to why later, or in a second, but this is a full cowling bangs piece. We'll look at the main figure's hair here in a second, but as you can see, it's got these little lightning effects on it. They look fairly nice. I kind of wish they were shaded a little bit more, but, I mean, the hair's shaded enough, but, like, you know, the lightning parts. But yeah, it looks nice. It's good to have this to go with the other bits of full cowling, and I do like that the lightning strands are different. But yeah, there's a little bit of paint chip on the black of the bangs, and it's a bit of a very stark delineation when it's much more of like a smoother transition on the figure arts. But yeah, it looks nice. I like how it looks. Anyways, speaking of full cowling, you probably saw it, but one of the main things that this figure has is electric effects. Are they all the same? They're not all the same. I don't know exactly how to specifically go over this, but he comes with, I believe, 10 electric effects. I believe 8 of them appear to be the same but mirrored, where they are this larger style. So you get a left and a right of that. They are essentially mirrored. Obviously, they're different, and I think they might be slightly different each sculpt, potentially, or they're the same, but you've got a left style and a right style, which kind of more perfectly coordinates to different parts of the body. It's a bit jumpy outy, I guess, in comparison to what I've seen from the Figuarts one, though that's from like watching videos, but they do look nice. The green is nice. It's not coming out super nicely on camera right now just because of the lighting, but it does look nice. And you get 4 of each of the larger style, as these are meant for the body of the figure. You get 4 of each. I mean, you can use these however you want. Yeah, they look to be, the left and the right side appear to be the same as their respective side, I guess. But yeah, it's a nice sculpted effect. It's very poppy and comic booky and unique. But yeah, and then you get hand style. So these are a bit more hand/foot style. These are a bit tighter in sculpt. These are the green ones. These look nice. One's got a lot tighter in sculpt, and you get a left and a right variety. I'll have to look at how specifically they should go on. And speaking of, I think these might be very similar, if not the same sculpt. You get the hand/foot style in pink. The pink is meant to be more of a, that's where the attack is focused, so you put this on whatever hand or foot is specifically attacking, and that works like that. It's nice that they gave all of these options. It's really good, and you're able to essentially cover him in lightning over his entire body, or you can just specify it to certain parts of the body for when you're doing full cowling. It's nice. I like it. Finally, let's talk about these face sculpts. Probably one of the weirder bits of the figure, because, again, this is an amazing Yamaguchi design, so it's a little bit off, I guess. So here we have his happy face, looking off to the side, obviously, but if you don't like that it's looking to the side, you can pop out the eyes, as mentioned. This is A1 right here. And you can pop out the eyes, and then swap them out with different eyes, if you feel so bold. It's nice. I like it. It's a nice, happy expression, and you can obviously make it look whichever way you want it to, which is always nice and fun. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. I think I like swappable eyes more than what some other Revoltechs do, in which they have movable eyes. Movable eyes just sound like a pain. And we have his teeth-gritted angry expression. Determined, whatever. I like this as well. It's got the dimples on it. It's got the angry expression. It looks a little small and a little cutified, but it doesn't quite look like Horikoshi's art, but it works fine. It's a different artist doing Deku. It works fine. Yeah, it looks good, and the eyes don't look as bad as they do on the renders, honestly. They fit in a lot better in person than they do, like, in promo shots, which is interesting, at least on that face. But finally, it's time to get a look at the figure. So yeah, let's handle an amazing Yamaguchi. He comes in a bunch of clear plastic, rather than the more tissue papery plastic that more modern figures come in. So you take him out of the full plastic, and he's still got plastic in the joints. So, okay, let's just carefully take it out so that nothing gets too gummed up in the joints. Torso, waist, neck, assembly. And here we have him. Honestly, he feels a little bit bigger than I was expecting. Oh, you also have the high top engineering. Oh my god, I didn't know this. It has the same fucking high top engineering as the figure art. The figure art just did that again. But this feels better because it's a lot tighter. But yeah, here we have Izuku Midoriya. Let's get it downward a little bit better. Focus on Izuku. Yep. He has a slightly bluer green than the figure art. I'm doing a lot of comparisons, but yeah, it's a little bit of a bluer green, which I think is more accurate. Though I'm not sure if... I imagine it's fine either way. I think this is accurate to when it is. This is accurate to when it is. So for context, for those of you who don't know, these are different looks, different costumes that he wears. He swaps around bits of his costume as he develops as a hero. This is like final season era, like end of season 6, I want to say, to the end of the series. So like after the Vigilante arc, stuff where he's like Dark Deku, as they call him. But like, this is like final arc era stuff. Meanwhile, this is, I believe, called his gamma suit. Not because like he can absorb gamma radiation or something, but that's just what they called it because it was like alpha, beta, gamma, delta, Greek letters. This is specifically his suit that he starts wearing, I believe, in the provisional license exam, which is right around the end of season 3, second half of season 3, and he wears it through the first half of season 4 during the overhaul arc. It's a nice suit. It works. I've seen a lot of people get a little bit frustrated that it isn't the post-season 4 into season 5 arc suit, where it's this same costume, but with these gloves. I think people prefer these gloves, because they're a little bit more detailed and have a little bit of extra powers, but I don't mind it too much. Anyways, sculpt-wise, he's a little bit different. Again, he isn't as accurate as I think some people would like, which I think leads to many people gravitating towards the figure art. Mainly in proportions. Obviously, Katsuhisa Yamaguchi is used to making the proportions look a little bit different. But like, even for like Horikoshi's artwork, the main difference is that the feet and hands are a lot more normally proportioned. They have very like Mickey Mouse, Kingdom Heartsy, larger hands and feet in their usual design language. That is kind of been stripped out of this figure, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I don't mind it too much, because it overall does look a lot like Deku. I think the biggest point of contention is the face, honestly, where a lot of the stylization has gone into. Like, you can see the subtle difference. Obviously, this is meant to be a little bit of a younger Deku than this one, but you can see some of the subtle differences that aren't quite right in the way Katsuhisa rendered Izuku's face in comparison to like the figure arts, which is a lot more accurate. Though that's not a bad thing. It's stylization, to your taste or not. I think it looks fine. Yeah, the hair is also really interestingly done. It's got the black is a lot more consistently under the hair. So like if you look at it down from here, it looks like he basically has black hair, but it's a lot more consistently under the hair than with the more gradient look. I dropped one of the lightning effects onto the floor. I don't want to step on that. That looks sharp and painful and bad. Let me scoot forward again. This is going to be a long review again. God damn it. Where was I? It's a lot more consistently painted for the hair, which is interesting. And the suit obviously has the black highlights with like the white and the blue. It does look nice. Something really interesting is I've found that the hips always look a little bit bowed out on this figure, and I think that's because for some reason there's like a curve to the leg, sculpt-wise. It's really interesting, the way it's like bowing like that, which kind of essentially forces him into an A stance at all times. So it makes his hips look a little bit wider than I think you kind of want them to be. And like, I can kind of see how it's like meant to be. Unless, am I stupid? No, there's no cut there. I really don't know why it's like this. Either way, it's just really interesting that it looks like that. I mean, I guess it could be straightened out a little. It can be straightened out. You just need to swivel it and then swivel that inward. And that looks a good bit better in a standard stanced pose. It makes the hips look a lot less flared out. And yeah, it kind of fixes it. And also these bow, like the limbs bow, interestingly. But yeah, the paintwork is somewhat sloppy, but generally fine. Like, you can see a little bit of the paint bleed on the shoulders and like the biceps, and you can see a little bit here. And like, it looks clean generally overall. There's just like a slightly chalky quality to the white here, which isn't ideal, but it works fine. And there's a little bit of paint bleed on like the fucking shoelaces as well. And these are way tighter than on the this Izuku, which it's a weird, like, stupid brain thing, but these are really floppy. But anyways, I guess we should get into articulation, because that's what Amazing Yamaguchi is generally for. So something that I live with, like, my family and like my sibling and whatnot. I showed him videos of this figure. Something he doesn't really like is that you can do that. You can kind of giraffe neck him, and you can see the little bit of like skin tone. Also, I forgot to mention in the sculpt, I like how prominent the hood is. I wish this figure came with a hood accessory to put on front of the face, but I also wish all Izuku Midoriyas did that, and none of them do. And it's really annoying, because none of them do it. Anyways, you've got the hood, it's a lot more prominent, but you can do this mainly for the sake of helping him to look up. Because his hair is big and bulky and kind of gets in the way of everything, but this figure has no problem getting it out of the way, so he can look up that far, look down, really far, honestly, even getting a little bit into the muffler, and look side to side quite well. This feels great. The hood and muffler are also on a ball joint connected to the back, which allows them to wiggle however you need to help get it out of the way or in the way or however you want it to be. That's a small adjustment thing, but I appreciate it. Anyways, these shoulders look weird. Okay, there's like shoulder jointage. There's a butterfly. Whoa, okay. Interesting. They don't get as far as I would like. I kind of wish they could more... Let's try. Okay, never mind. It's good. It's fine. It can butterfly, and again, a lot more, honestly, like, friendly to, like, my stupid brain problems, where, like, I like things being straightened out. This one does not like straightening out its shoulders, but this one does. It seems fine with it, because it's it's able to go back fairly decently as well. You do kind of have to swivel the arms to get it to properly go, but yeah. So yeah, it's able to go forward and back on those weird butterflies. They also allow for outward, but it feels... Okay, you kind of got to get it up and over to get it to go upward. But he can T-pose fairly cleanly. You kind of just got to get it up and over because it's using very similar techniques to basically every other Amazing Yamaguchi, where it's... Or at least, especially in this early era, where it is like that kind of Revoltech joint up there. But it is hidden so fucking well. Honestly, it's really hidden quite well for that kind of Revoltech joint. Anyways, it's able to go out. It's able to go all the way around. There's no bicep. Well, there is a bicep swivel. It's just like there. It's able to go all the way around. Amazing. I'm sorry I'm taking so long, but the Amazing Yamaguchi figures are a bit of a learning curve. Anyways, we have our double hinge. That's really tight. It's better than being as loose as from what I've seen from the QC of the original figure, and there's also some swivel there and some swivel there to get a nice natural curve outward. But yeah, that's very tight. Anyways, you've got this can move. This is its own part, and it can move. And then you have a swivel hinge swivel at the hand. Also, there's a hole there. I should have mentioned that before. In sculpting, if you look at the back of the figure, you'll see there's more than just the back hole. There's holes here, 2 holes at the bottom of the feet, 2 holes in the hands, 2 holes here, and 2 holes hidden under the mask. Those are the ports for the electric effects that we went over earlier in the video. That's how you connect them to the body. Anyways, back to the articulation. Sorry, this is so scatterbrained. Torso. Upper torso is able to bend really far forward and quite far backward without causing much gappage. Ooh, baby! There's a little bit of gappage in the back, but he's able to hinge nice and forward. Any backwards? A little bit backwards, but I'm fine. This is good. This is good enough. Also, these are wiggleable. These pouches are one assembly. They wiggle up and down, I guess, to help get out of the way of the legs. Speaking of legs, these are Amazing Yamaguchi legs, so it looks like they only go out that far. And people are like, oh yeah, the SH Figure Arts has way better hips because this one's only able to go out that far. Dumbasses. You're not using the legs right. For going outward, you're meant to pair it with the thigh swivel. So yes, the individual joint is only able to go out about yay far, but the thigh swivel is angled. So you pair it with that, and it gets the full spread outward. It does limit some of the poses you can do. Like, obviously, you can't have that be like that too much, but that's how that works. It's the SH Figure Arts has a much more traditional leg assembly. I'm gonna try not to break this, so I need a second. Oh, I got it out of the rubberized crotch. Okay, there we go. Anyways, it's a lot less traditional and a lot more work to get used to it. But yeah, it works. It works really well, honestly. Anyways, there's a hinge very similar to erotica's. There's like a ball going into the lower thigh, so it's a single hinge. But it's kind of a double hinge because there's a ball joint in there as well. Uh, so it's able to go out all the way. It can't quite kick his butt. Oh yeah, the butt sculpt does limit backward, and I didn't get to look at forward either. It's able to go forward. It swivels slightly going forward. That's something to keep in mind. But it does go forward basically all the way that you would want to. It does go splay outwards, bleh, when kicking forwards, but it kicks forward very well. That's tight as hell. Anyways, yeah, if you want him to look a lot more standard in a standing pose, that's how you do it, I guess. Anyways, again, this also allows for a down here swivel, not thigh, but down here swivel as well, which allows for the swivel to kind of be like a dual swivel. Whatever. You get it. You know action figures. Anyways, this is also the high top floating joint. Boo, 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 boo. And for the foot, since it's a floating joint on a ball joint, kicks downward, kicks upward fairly nicely, and hinges inward perfectly, beautifully. Love that so much. And there's a toe bend. So yeah, honestly, this is a fun figure. I want to pose with it a little bit more, get used to an Amazing Yamaguchi again. This one being smaller is a lot more manageable than Iron Man. Iron Man has like a bigger build and like makes it a bit hard to use. But this guy being smaller, and honestly, he looks a lot better than a lot of other Amazing Yamaguchi. He has some weird proportional stuff, especially of the era, I should say, of this era. But he commits to hiding his joints a lot better. Obviously, there's the elbow joints, but like, this is like one of the only Revoltechs that like, one of the only Revoltechs that commits to hiding the shoulders without shoulder pads. And it's so impressive, honestly. This Izuku, I don't want it to be forgotten now that we have the SH Figure Arts, which I will stand right next to him. But this Izuku is really good. And I think they can coexist. Again, these are different costumes. These are different eras. These are different ages of Izuku. So they can coexist, I think. And I think people just kind of ignore that. In the hunt for the next best thing. But yeah, I'm sorry this took so long. Figures with a lot of accessories take a long time. And I know I stalled a lot. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if I should look at more Amazing Yamaguchis. I'm already looking at one that I might want to pre-order. We shall see. I might not. We'll see. We'll see how the economy is by the time you're watching this. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which Izuku is your favorite. Create engagement. I may have already asked this question depending on if I make the review I want to make. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I honestly like this a lot more than I thought I would. Do all the usual YouTube stuff, and until next time, I'll see you around. Bye-bye!